No, make it a bit easy.
They say good things come to those who wait. Well, guess I'm gonna be at least an hour late. You've been so good to me, allow me to demonstrate. Hey, real loving, you don't have to wait.
New Year, same old grey old conversations. Welcome to it. I feel like this year I don't want to greet anymore, you know. We've greeted for way too long. So let's just get straight into the thing, you know. Bonang has been threatening to walk out of set because apparently I was annoying her. You know, it's funny how things change in relationships, eh? Over time you're gonna learn so many things. So I walked in the room where we shoot. Get high like and it's over. And this is me trying to cheer my wife on. Oh babe, guess which song this is about? Stop it, it's annoying. I'm like, okay, that's one thing that's changed.
It is annoying.
Number two of things that have changed, Bonang is not into the matching outfits anymore. I'm worried. Very worried. You know, when he started out, she was all about matching, go to the store, get matching outfits. These days, I got a color similar to what she's wearing. She's like, don't do it. Babe, what's going on? Should I be worried? I feel like this is a safe space for us to discuss our problems, if there are problems. Why are you not into the matching outfits anymore?
I never said I'm not into the matching outfits. I merely said not today.
Yeah, it hasn't been today for a while. Like, Maro, it was not today. And then today again, oh baby, let's wear like matching basketball tees to
that's
shoot.
A lie.
No, I'd
that is
rather
the
not.
biggest lie you've ever told. We went on a date, I was wearing a green dress, he jumped and got a green shirt.
It's always me with the matching outfit, but when
because you're slower to get dressed, so you normally wait for me to get dressed.
Wait, babe, are you still into matching outfits? That's what I want.
Sure.
Nah, I don't believe you.
And the reason why let's wear matching outfits. Somebody sold his couple tea. Somebody.
I didn't sell anything.
Sold his couple tea. We both had Golden State Warriors curry teas.
Yes.
Good. We even have couple photos in there. And then what does this man do with his couple tea? Sells it.
I didn't sell it. I gave it away. Right? Anyway, that's enough about what's changed. But I want to start every single episode by just stating a few things that I've seen changing over time. I guess relationships do go in cycles, right? And I guess we're in the cycle as well. So, great old conversations. We're happy to be back. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If this is your second time or third time or 77th time, which is exactly how many videos we have on our platforms, thank you so much for being here. What's new on the set, baby? I don't know, did we have the bonsai last time?
I've had the ginseng tree before.
Yes, a big shout out to Kumo for the bonsai, right? Is it ginseng or bonsai? What is it? Ginseng, what's the difference?
Bonsai is very expensive, you probably can't afford it.
Yeah. Kumo, you've been challenged, so I'm challenging you to now buy us the bonsai. But shout out to Kumo for the tree. And then we got this succulent from Meek and Adrian's wedding. We'll do like a separate video just talking about weddings that we attended in the festive season. So thank you guys for being here. Welcome to Doek Tie, right? So, baby.
First things first, things that have remained constant. My name is Bonang and this is my handsome husband.
You still think I'm handsome?
Not really, but you know, it's my intro. This is my husband, Bukamuso. And welcome to Grey Wall Conversations. So let's get into it. What are we discussing today?
Today, you know, it's a new year, so there are certain conversations sort of yearly you like to discuss to see if your views and opinions have changed or they've stayed the same, right? So I wanted us to revisit conversation here. Are there certain questions that people shouldn't ask you, either as an individual, as a couple, or generally just as a person, like as an individual? Okay. So do you feel like there are certain questions more okay, this is boundary, This is okay, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And this is where I draw the line. So I want to hear Bonang's questions that she believes people should not ask her about either herself personally or either as us as a couple, right? Yeah.
Alright.
So question number one, what do you think people should be asking you?
Question number one, why would the people shouldn't be asking you?
It's Bonang's 5 questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, first question is not really a me question, it's a question I've been seeing people complain about. Then I thought if I were to put myself in those people's shoes, I also probably wouldn't like being asked the same question. So the question is, let me first scenario.
Okay.
Bukamuso, model student.
What's a model student? Like
model student, teacher's pet, gets good grades, probably the best grades in class.
Okay.
And then progresses to university. And then in university, you know, sometimes life comes at you and you may not finish at the same time with your peers. You may finish later, or things don't go according to plan, right? And then you run into someone like a few years later, or someone texts you on Facebook and they're like, hey, Kamoso, what happened? Like, you are the star of the class. We all thought you would be in, I don't know, we all thought you'd be in the UK right now. Like, what happened to you? We had, you know, those type of things where someone is just coming at you,
people ask that?
Yes, apparently. Okay. And I've been asked, like, never been asked that. But I felt like I agreed with that is such an inappropriate question to ask. You are coming at me with expectations that you had of me. I probably have expectations of me, and expectations of me, best believe my expectations of myself are greater than any expectations you could have of me.
Okay.
So then someone comes at you and all they're doing is scratching at wounds and scratching at things that you are working towards. Like, you're working towards completing, you're working towards doing everything that you had planned to do. The timing might be off, things may not have gone according to plan, but you're still on track, you're still on your track, it's your course, it's your lane.
Okay.
And then someone comes and they're like, these people are working, these people are married, these people have kids, these people have all of this, and then you're just...
Okay.
It's like you weren't the star of the class, you weren't the star of the show. So I feel like that's one inappropriate question to ask.
Right.
Because you don't know what happened, you don't know, maybe someone lost someone they loved, someone they cared about, someone who motivated them, someone who encouraged them. They might have lost their motivation, or maybe mental health. I got depressed. You never know what happened to me that led to the course that I had set for myself being delayed. Yes. Okay.
So that's one question.
Yes, very inappropriate.
You're very passionate about it.
Very
passionate about your 5 questions. So that was the first one. The guy summarize a ring. Societal expectations, maybe? Or what do you
I wouldn't call it societal expectations because societal expectations isn't a question. Okay,
we'll call it that, right? We'll find a name for it. And then what's another question? I want them try to keep them short because there's someone
I think 5
right?
is too long. I can do 2 and then you do 2.
Okay.
And a second question that I find quite inappropriate as a woman. When are you having kids? Like, it never gets old. Like, it just never gets old. When am I having kids? Okay. Kids to me are a huge responsibility, and people are just like, no, you just pop one out and then the kid will eat whatever it is you eat, the kid will live however it is you live. I'm like, I want great things for my kids. I want to be able to afford certain things. I want to take my kid to private school. I want to be able to afford that. I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want to just get by. Just to do certain things for my child. I want my child to, they want to be artistic. I want them to have the freedom to do that. The freedom to explore careers that I would have never thought of because you know, engineer, doctor, lawyer. Not an engineer just joined the chat, like doctor, lawyer. It was very specific, or you know, teachers, policemen, soldiers. I want my kid to have a more diverse. So options, yes. Yeah. Because when I talk to my niece, she's like, I'm interested in robotics. I'm like, baby girl, you're like 10 and you're already talking about robotics. So I find that fascinating. I want to afford my children the lifestyle that I didn't have. Not them being spoiled, not them being overly coddled, but I want to be able to give them certain things that I may not have had growing up.
Options.
I want them to have options, yes.
Yeah, we had options, but a more varied
I want
array
a
of
very
options, right?
varied array of options. I want them to do whatever it is. How they like music, how they like the arts, how they want to be something unconventional. I want that for them, and I don't want them to have to worry, hey, I can't go that route because mama. I can't go that route because papa. Papa and mama are placing a whole lot of expectations on me, so I need to find a stable job, a stable career, 9 to 5, will ensure that I'm able to do 1, 2, 3 for mama and papa. I don't want that.
Welcome to the One Show, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, babe. Those are your 2 questions that people should stop asking, right? So now I have sort of a different view in which I view today's topic, right? But I'll just share maybe 2 common ones that I've heard, right? Our neighbor, Malawa, she didn't sing you for a while, right? I'm gonna put you on blast, right? She stood by the gate. You.
No, make it in the TV. Like, why?
Baby,
that's why it's
wait. This is mine. How the yo. You know what, blow? I'm like, I was standing with her at the gate, so I couldn't really. I wasn't trying to defend you, babe. I'm sorry.
You never defend.
I was just letting her go off because I know people of a certain age group, like there isn't much you can do really. You know, they know what they know. They don't know what they don't know.
You need to do a better job.
Wait, babe. Wait. So that's another question. Right? That I've heard. Wait, right? Yes. And then the other one, that I've seen being thrown around, onyala leng. Also, that's a little unfair to place that sort of expectation on someone, right?
Yeah.
So I get what. For me, I think those are the 2 great ones that I've seen. I agree you covered the kids one, right?
Yeah.
So Nagetlatsa Malaya waiti what's going on, and then when are you getting married? When are you when are you getting married for both men and women? I never realized that.
Yeah.
Right? So those are my 2. But babe, spanner in the works.
Yeah.
I think differently of the whole things that people shouldn't ask. For me is, what conversations do you need to come to terms with as an individual?
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really, but
like, don't place so much expectation on people having to not ask you questions. Rather, deal with player number 1.
Which
is wait, let me finish.
Player 1.
Deal with player 1. Okay, maybe I've gained a little weight or I've lost a little weight. Accept where you are during that time. Like, okay, except for you've gained weight or you've lost weight. Don't let somebody else come in from God's one thing to get at you with something that you already know. Accept and deal with player 1, which is yourself. So for me, this applies to all array of these questions, right? If you don't know, you don't know. Accept where you are in life, and then don't let anybody else pressure. Even if you're having a good day and then somebody asks you that question, you're gonna lose your money, you're gonna have a bad day. Why would you give so much power to other people? It's like you haven't accepted who you are as a person and where you are in life. I understand because sometimes, you know, as people are constantly working on ourselves, right? So maybe I'm working on my weight issue, maybe I'm working on getting married, maybe I'm working on getting a better job. But even though you're working on those things, accept where you are at that particular time, so that there is nobody who amasses so much power over you, and then throw that question at you and then ruin your day.
Alright.
Yeah.
I feel you, but I don't feel you. let's just tackle this. How ring, like we get like accept yourself, and no one said you didn't accept yourself. Let's start there. No one said you weren't accepting of who you were.
Alright, can I ask a question?
Okay. I'll let you talk, my love.
We need the stick of truth.
No.
Where is it?
My issue here is you don't know my struggle. That's the thing. You don't know.
But you do.
But I know my struggle. Yes. You don't know my struggle. But you're asking questions that could be triggering to me. So let's be more aware and alert of the things because you might think it's an innocent question, and then now I burst out into tears. While we rang after I burst into tears.
It's just tears, bro.
It's not just tears. You're
releasing it.
They're releasing it, yes,
which is good.
But you caused it. So
if I caused you to release, alright.
No.
Let me
picture this. No, picture this. You run into me, you haven't seen me in so long. And you say to me, hey, what you don't know is I might have been sick, I might have been put on steroids, I might have had to gain a whole lot of weight, and I've shed some of that weight. I'm going somewhere mentally. I've been sick mentally, and I've been prepping myself. I've been trying to remove. I was getting to a good place. I was getting to a place of acceptance. This, you're doing very well. You've been doing very good.
Yes.
And then you just come and you ruin all the progress that I have. You would say you're giving someone power over you. It's not giving someone power over you. Sometimes there's that one small needle. There's the straw that broke the camel's back. I might have been holding on, and then you just come and I break down completely. It's the same thing that happens. Sometimes someone can hold off for so long as an alcoholic, and then something happens to turn that thing around. Without that person, it's not kanya own your stuff, own your. You've triggered them, and as a person, as a human being, let's try not to trigger people. Let's try don't come at people that are sensitive issues. You would not like to be asked. If someone puts you in a corner about something that is very sensitive to you, and they're just like, at home. Don't put people in uncomfortable situations. This person is uncomfortable. How a person is uncomfortable? Change the subject or move on. Don't keep probing. Don't keep scratching at my wound.
Madam Chair. Yes. I'm not disputing anything that you just said.
Yes.
That's how you start, like when you know. I'm not disputing anything that Bonham was saying, but let's dial it down a bit and come back to reality, right? I understand what you're saying, babe.
Let's wrap up also.
Yes, let's wrap up also so that the episode is not too long. What I'm saying is realistically, people are gonna come at you, right? Even if we sat here and talked and went live for 72 hours or a week, right? People are still gonna come at you and ask you those questions. So now for me, I've tended around to say, what things do I need to be comfortable with? Right? So the sooner, I'm not saying I'll be maybe at like 100%, but the sooner that I have self-introspected, self-accepted, it's something that I'm aware of, and it will not trigger me.
Baby, you don't pick a trigger.
I get, baby, wait. Right. Remember again, I said realistically speaking. And then point number 2 that I wanted to make, right? I'm a big fan, or I believe at a certain age group, you know what you know, and it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, right? Let's take age, no, I'm not, like, this is not an ageism thing, but let's say like someone who's 75, right? 75, conversation about holo, to be realistic with you. The first thing that they're going to ask you about is your weight. Whether you've gained weight, whether you've lost weight, that's the first thing that's going to come out of their mouth. So are you telling me you're going to be caught off guard all the time? Are you going to be triggered all the time by a 70-year-old saying, hey,
I'm saying,
realistically speaking,
I'm saying, if something makes me uncomfortable and it's made me uncomfortable for a while, and now you realize that I don't answer that question.
Oh, trust me, they'll keep asking.
And then you keep asking.
You're not held liable for what's about
I should not be held liable for what's to come. Like, what the... Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised because you're coming at me. So my natural instinct is to defend myself.
That's the,
so if I come at you for coming at me,
that's the interesting thing also, babe. Age group it's an excellent conversation starter. Maybe they'll be willing to open and say, right? So different age groups get triggered. The word trigger is used quite a lot, you know, it's a buzzword. Different age groups get triggered by different topics. So maybe 70 or 75, kids. Like to them it's nothing. That's what I realized. And not for me personally, I've learned to know who I'm talking to and what audience is around me. So I trust me, no question can catch me off guard. Because I'm learning to master player one, which is myself.
True. However, this is people you grew up with, people you are used to.
It doesn't. No. It doesn't have to be even a random person.
It's people you are used to. It's people you.
Baby,
Reza. Learn to listen.
No, I'm saying that's not correct.
Listen. My point is what bahulu there's new dynamics.
I know my age group, I know my audience.
Yes. So, that's you. I've never asked those questions. I never thrown in my direction. I'm never put on the spotlight about my weight or about certain things. Obviously, I'm gonna get a shock when it becomes a spotlight elsewhere, and I will try my best to react accordingly. But all I'm saying is, on some days, I've had it up to here, and you don't want to be on the receiving end of that pop.
Right.
Because so that's why sometimes you can apologize for something that you've said, but you've already said it. It's been said. I might feel sorry later, but it's been said. So that's why society is changing. There's so much more we've learned about mental health and everything, and you find that
not 80-year-olds.
The thing that's been chowing mental health mental health banana. The thing that's been chowing your mental health because every time I come, you're killing my mental health. Get like a strong, get like a reinforced, and then left, right, center. When are you getting married? When are you having kids? Why this? Why what is wrong? You see, it's things like that might set me back, and things like that will eventually lead to holidays. I'm like, no guys, my friends are my family. So in as much as we say there's certain things that they know, I'm sure that there's a teachable moment in everything, because we don't want there to be a huge divide between baholo le bana. Bana's like, you know what, I can't hang out with those people because they're not good for my mental health, which is a very big thing and a very big deal. So I look, you feel out toxic. When I was toxic, but if I start feeling like you're toxic and I wanna draw a line, I want to see you less, because every time I see you, it's like you then as I will try as much as possible, I don't want for us to separate. There are certain topics there are certain things there how do So let's try as much as possible to steer clear of such conversations. Hey, that's what I'm saying. I will not accept what people cannot be taught, no matter what age. I will say there is a teachable. We can all learn something. You asking your child is a question that triggers them, that doesn't make them feel okay. I'm sure you can live without not asking that question. I can't live without asking this question. Hey.
Varying opinions. Like, I understand what Bonang is saying, but you know, I dial things down a little bit to reality. Nah, not really. I know people are sensitive. Again, another word that's overly used, sensitive, right? So, 5 things that Bonang doesn't want to be asked. 5 things that I need to master about myself and accept who I am in life. Varying opinions. Let us know what you think in the comment section. This has been Doek Tie. We're trying to keep these episodes as short as possible. And a big shout out to everybody watching these videos on data, man. You know, got orange what they kept. You've reached your
daily limit
before you even finish. So a big thank you to everybody really checking out these videos. I'm looking forward to more conversations, baby. You know, I think there are more conversations to be had by people in our generation and people older.
True.
Well, I hope if COVID sort of like wears out, we'll have more people in the studio to just have like open discussions, because it'll be great to hear other people's opinions of these topics. I'm sure if you brought in a psychologist, this could have been like divided into past traumas and character and when I was Scorpio, Taurus, you know, like there's so much array of conversation to be had there, right?
Yes.
I had fun, man, talking about this. I still think it's a master player one.
Thank you so much for watching today's episode, Doek Tie. So annoying.
They say good things come to those